Hey everybody, I'm Smug Sneasel.
And I'm Smearjo.
Okay, alright, okay, I just need to shut up for a minute, because blow your mind, man. Alright, so I just saw some supplementary material, right, that said that the Phantom Ruby apparently, well, of course it causes illusions, but it does not actually distort time and space.
What does that mean?
No, it means that it creates illusions, but it materializes them in reality. So it creates illusions that are just real.
So they're not illusions.
Well, sort of. They're made from illusions that are so. It's like if you were stuck in a dream world and you actually got hurt or whatever, you still feel hurt. So that brings in a load of questions, but I've devised something ingenious. All right, now check this. What if Sonic Mania, half of it actually takes place solely on Angel Island, and the other half takes place on the way over to Little Planet?
So they never get to Little Planet?
No, they do get to Little Planet, and that's the genius of it. Okay, so firstly, if you remember, Sonic and Tails are flying and they go to Angel Island, which is back in the water for some reason, I don't know. And then Eggman digs up the Phantom Ruby, and then it releases its energy, and the hard-boiled heavies become corrupted by its energy, rebel against him. That's not important. What's important is, immediately after it fires off, we're suddenly back in Green Hill Zone. Now remember, it does not distort space and time, meaning that Sonic is seeing Green Hill Zone, and the illusions are becoming real enough for him to actually just do stuff in the Green Hill Zone that he perceives, but he's actually still in Angel Island Zone. And that is why in Green Hill Zone, you see the hangrail thing that you hang off from. Those are actually in Angel Island, meaning that those are probably actually real and left off from the creation. First off, the bosses. 2 spiraling death eggs and a huge death egg robot completely out of nowhere. Now you probably thought, hey, that's Eggman, oh, he's being real serious, busting out that death egg. But actually, it's him using the illusions on something with the death egg as a basis, because the death egg crashed on Angel Island in Sonic 3. Well, that's where he was building it, and then they knocked it down, and then you tried to rise back up again. But we'll get to Sonic 3 later. So, at the end of Green Hill Zone, you see Eggman arguing with the hard-boiled heavies who have betrayed him. Then he takes the Phantom Ruby for himself, activates it, boom, Chemical Plant Zone. Now, something that we'll notice later is that Eggman is working on doing things on Little Planet, reclaiming Little Planet. So, what if he was using Little Planet partially as a basis of his illusions to begin with? Because in Chemical Plant Zone, you remember the chemicals or whatever that clearly weren't there in the original version?
Yes.
They function like wacky workbench bouncers.
That's true.
And so he's going around this Chemical Plant Zone. I'm doing quotations, and I don't know if the mean bean machine is real, man. I can't figure that part out. It's awesome either way.
They go up to a computer and they just play it on the computer.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. Yeah. And then they don't have a Phantom Ruby transition, they go to Studiopolis Zone. Now, that got me wondering, okay, why is there not a transition? But what if Studiopolis Zone is a Phantom Ruby illusion of Casino Night Zone? Well, Carnival Night Zone. Carnival Night Zone is Sonic 3, Casino Night is Sonic 2. Carnival Night Zone is on Angel Island. So what if he's going through this Studiopolis Zone that's filled with all these buildings and TVs and places, but it's actually still just Carnival Night Zone and he just doesn't know. Which would also explain why Eggman just has sudden control over a television system and everything. It just came out of nowhere. Why would he have that? But after that, the flying battery comes. Now, Eggman built the flying battery and used it in Sonic 3 for Angel Island. Oh, well, not for Angel Island, but on Angel Island. And so, the flying battery is just back. So, meaning he probably rebuilt it, or, well, yeah, rebuilt it. It might have crashed down back on Angel Island when Sonic dealt with it. But the point is that it's rebuilt. More credence for it to be Angel Island related. You go through flying battery, and then you go off at Press Garden Zone. Now, I'm not sure exactly what Press Garden Zone would represent in this, but it does seem weird that there's just like a huge printing press that Eggman just controls, because usually in Sonic stages, things are part of nature that Eggman corrupts. But why would he have just a giant printing press? What is he doing with it? It doesn't make sense. But that's more of a possible illusion thing. It's not really that important. What is important is that at the end of Press Garden, you see Eggman tinkering with stuff that shows Little Planet on the monitor. And then he activates a Phantom Ruby to send Sonic to Stardust Speedway. Now, if he's working on stuff related to Little Planet, why would he send Sonic there? What, as I said, he's actually reclaiming Little Planet. He's working on that, but he's using it as a basis for his illusions. So they're not actually going through Stardust Speedway, but Eggman just there like, oh, I got an idea, and so yeah, they're going through a lookalike of Stardust Speedway created by the Phantom Ruby. What's interesting though is that they somehow go from Stardust Speedway to Hydrocity. Now, Hydrocity is the second zone in Sonic 3. Immediately after you go through just normal Angel Isle zone, Knuckles drops you into Hydrocity. So, what if they go through Stardust Speedway zone, but they actually do just drop back into Hydrocity? Now, the reason I say this is because I forget if it was Act 1 or Act 2, but people have pointed out that one of the acts of Hydrocity is actually extremely similar to the Sonic 3 one. Just a little bit more stuff added. So what if that's the actual Hydrocity that they're going through? Now, after they finish Hydrocity, they go to Mirage Saloon Zone, but they actually go in plane. So what if they're actually not going to the zones that they think they're going in plane, but they're actually being led, because Sonic and Tails are tracking down Eggman at this point.
Right.
But Eggman is actually working with the Phantom Ruby to reclaim Little Planet. So what if the energy they're going to is actually Little Planet, but they don't know, but they're on a plane, so they've left Angel Island at this point. Mirage Saloon could potentially exist as its own zone in of itself on the waves. It's weird. But the point is that they had to take a plane because they had to get off of Angel Island at that point. Now, I don't know whether the train or whatever is real. I hope it is, because that was awesome. But then you notice at the end of Mirage Saloon, they get into a giant gun and are shot off into the sky. What is in the sky? Little Planet. Just like hanging over Never Lake that they probably don't even notice. And then they end up in quote-unquote Oil Ocean Zone. Again, Phantom Ruby stuff. Now, this is another part where it's just like I'm pushing it a little bit for this specific thing. It doesn't like ruin the theory, it's more like it's less plausible. But first off, going to Oil Ocean, Act 2, we burned that place like nothing else. But Sonic just goes on switches and just... Well, there's no freaking way that happens.
Yeah.
So, what if they were actually at Tidal Tempest Zone? Like, remember, at the top of Tidal Tempest Zone are bazillion volcanoes just going crazy.
Yes.
And remember, in Oil Ocean, it was smoke from the oil that was choking us. Volcanic ice can do the same thing.
That's true.
And so you're going through Oil Ocean, you beat boss, whatever. End up in quote-unquote Lava Reef. Now, the first part of Lava Reef, maybe it'd still be you just like in the volcanoes now, but again, I'm still saying that's a little bit pushing it. But the second part of Lava Reef is eerily similar to Quartz Quadrant.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, again, Sonic CD, right there. After quote-unquote Lava Reef is Metallic Madness. By this point, they are at actual Metallic Madness Zone.
Right.
And they go through, do the stuff, and then it turns out that Eggman has actually built the Titanic Monarch using Little Planet's energy. But if you go in there, and I think it's also said in the supplementary material, that it is powered by the Phantom Ruby. There's probably some big robot thing or whatever. But Sonic goes in there, he sees, remember the church paintings or whatever, and the fact that literal time, it's seemingly dimensions are all whack because we have to go through those places and it seemed we just ended up back where we were.
Yeah.
Again, illusions. Now, why would the hard-boiled heavies get their own like map painting or whatever in there? And why would Eggman seemingly summon them for the pre-final boss, the fake final boss. Is it the final boss if you don't have the Chaos Emeralds?
The normal ending.
The normal ending boss. The thing is that they've betrayed him. They don't work for him. So he's actually creating lookalikes of them in that final boss battle. They probably are just like some random machines doing some stuff that Sonic thinks are the actual hard-boiled heavies. That's why they don't need to be destroyed. You can actually just evade them constantly, and then it'll run out, and then you'll just go back. Or if it just hit it, I guess it'll come off. But they're not destroyed because they're not actually there. And so after Sonic defeats Eggman, then Egg Referee Zone comes up, where the Phantom Ruby is just going haywire, and Heavy King's like, "Oh, cool, I want that," and just like takes it, and then Eggman comes in the Kleptomobile. I love that name. And then you fight them off both. Now, the reason why I said the Titanic Monarch is actually real is because at the ending, it blows up, meaning that while the Phantom Ruby is going crazy, this thing actually seemingly blows up.
Right.
And then Little Planet is reconstituted in the same way that it was in Sonic CD after Sonic blew up Eggman's source of operation. Not only that, but remember, Metallic Madness was Eggman's base in Sonic CD. It was the last part, and that's why Titanic Monarch. If you notice, there are like buildings around it. He built it in the middle, or at the end, in the middle. I don't know how this thing works. Of Metallic Madness, and it's just I don't know what he was planning to do with it, but he was powering it with the Phantom Ruby to make the illusions of it real, and he was using the Phantom Ruby energy to power his stuff so that he could actually take back Little Planet. So then he'd have the power of illusions into reality and time if he got back the time stones.
Right.
So he got this whole planet, but Sonic was like, nope. Even with those illusions, he still stopped him, and I think that's cool, but that's not the point. The point is, what if people actually thought of that? I mean, I'm not going to say it in as much confidence as like someone like MatPat will say this. Of course not. But what if that was actually like a thought process at one of the point, but they were like, we don't want to like make it too obvious or something. Maybe because some of these games usually have this little subtle stuff that you figure out on your own. What if that actually happened? That'd be so cool. Technically, people would be all like, oh no, Sonic Mania's all an illusion. He dreamed it up.
I would.
But no, that's what I'm saying. Part of it is technically an illusion. Part of it is not. Because of that, I feel like this game, to me now, I mean, this is headcanon stuff. Headcanon is the same person, same thing, company. I messed that up like 3 times, how awkward. That worked on this. It's my headcanon that this happened, and so Sonic Mania is just actually so much of a better game to me, thematically, because that's just so awesome to me. But, of course, people are going to say that, okay, Mania and Forces came out, they literally made Mania an illusion, and now Forces is actually real. What are we gonna do? Now, listen. Again, not entirely an illusion. It doesn't really matter at this point. I really actually just believe in this right now. Sure, people might come up with something that says otherwise later, but for right now, this is the most freaking awesome thing ever, and I absolutely love Sonic Mania. But that goes without saying.
It opens up the ethical questions. If these illusions are 100% real, do you kill Shadow in Forces?
Well, Shadow says that it's like they're given a body and mind, but no actual soul.
That's an easy out.
No, remember that's why I said that whatever helps you sleep at night, Shadow. But yeah, they're given actual form, but there's no. He doesn't create life. He just creates lookalikes.
So why was I here?